Another one. Another one. Touchdown Jags! Ball game!
Another Jags podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another Jags podcast, episode 35. We are going to be previewing the Jaguars against the Chiefs. Big game on Sunday in Kansas City. The Jags go on the road. We're going to give our overall thoughts on the game, matchup concerns, matchup advantages. We're going to give you our bold prediction, our score predictions. We're maybe answer a Twitter question or two if we have them. And also, we're going to go through the other AFC teams, the Titans, the Colts, and the Texans, and predict those games as well. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to get to it all. But before we do, as always, we want to remind you we are on Twitter at Another Jags Pod, Facebook and Instagram at Another Jags Podcast, YouTube, Another Jags Podcast, and AnotherJagsPodcast.com. Spread the word for this podcast. We'd love to see it grow. We want to include the discussion with our fellow Jaguar fans. So let us know anything you'd like for us to talk about, and we'll try and address that in all of our episodes. We have our full crew with us tonight, Joey, Robert, and Jason, who are all on their phones right now looking very busy, but I think they're just playing solitaire. And we're going to get to some talk right now, though, guys. Let's focus in on this week's game, the first game of the second quarter of the season, fifth game of the season, big game, very telling game, a game in a hostile environment, Kansas City Chiefs, a tough stadium to play in, Arrowhead, known for its crowd noise. I'm really setting the stage here.
Solitaire?
Yeah,
you play solitaire.
Oh man,
anymore.
I'm addicted to solitaire.
I'm on Minesweeper. Okay, thank you very
on
much.
your phone? Does anyone play it on your
constantly.
phone? Really?
I probably play 20 games of solitaire a day.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
On my like Tandy 2000 back in like 92.
Yeah, for
awesome.
real. Windows 98 DOS. I was playing solitaire.
No. Solitaire is the jam.
I haven't played solitaire without cards in 15 years.
If I don't win the game in under 90 seconds, I consider it a
You do
loss.
3 card or 1 card?
No, he won
3
cards.
cards.
He got
I mean, come on, 1 card. That's amateur hour. That's Tennessee Titans. That's how they play.
I'm pretty pumped about this Chiefs matchup. It's going to be really good to see where our defense stands against a good offense. I think we match up well against the Chiefs because they're all tiny. And if we remember from last year, it seemed like everyone was getting injured when they played the Jags. Like if you played the Jags, you were going to lose like 2 starters guaranteed. And we play a team like the Chiefs, we're going to break some of those guys. I mean, I went back and watched the Chiefs game from Monday night when they played the Broncos and almost lost. Every single tackle, these small guys like Tyreek Hill, who's their running back? Kareem Hunt. Anytime these guys got tackled, I was like, that dude just tore his ACL. And like they popped up, and I was like, golly, man, when they play,
They're wiry.
When they play the Jags, I don't know if they get out healthy. But
So what, 150 penalty yards for the Jags and 3 guys go out with injuries?
I'm gonna guess at least 3 Mahomes late hits. There's got it, but the dude, the way he scrambles around, there's no way we don't hit that
And
dude.
one of them is going to be on a run play where he hands the ball off.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't think you can talk about this game without talking about Mahomes to start. And I'll give James mad props again. Drafted him in fantasy. 14 touchdowns, no interceptions, a left-handed freaking throw. I mean, what was that? I mean, come on.
Overrated.
All right, fine, but you got to at least mention the fact.
Not him, the left-handed throw.
Through 4
The
games,
left-handed
though.
throw was so overrated.
Yeah,
we could all go and do that right now.
No, he's not overrated. The left-handed throw
Yes,
was very overrated.
that's what I'm saying too. Oh my
Have you ever seen that in a professional football game?
I've seen like people throw it away
On the
left-handed.
run? Switching to your left hand and completing a
better be
pass.
doing that. He's young.
We can do another video during the Jags bye. We have 2 for Joey. One is flossing on a coffee table. The other is you running the 40-yard dash. I will do a left-handed throw and complete it to any 3 of y'all. It's not that hard.
Yeah, especially 5 yards.
Oh my gosh.
With me trying to chase you down and kill you.
Sure.
It's not like it's spiraled. It's not like he like.
If you're trying to chase me down, I'm going to have like 10 yards between us.
Especially after the 40. Fair enough.
He just be completely gassed.
He just like flipped it out like a
Dude, still though,
spread
man.
quarterback would to a
No,
running
I'm
back.
sorry. It wasn't like super easy, but I wish they had actually shown real throws that he made in that game that were good
Right.
versus that. It was just the fact that it was left-handed, and you don't see that often. I think Eli Manning has done that before.
Well, fair enough.
This is off the top of my head.
You're
I'm
getting
pretty
like
sure.
Favre comparisons. You're
was just
getting
way
like Steve
overhyped.
Young comparisons. I mean,
But that kind of brings me to my point. This is the number 1 offense in the league going up against the number 1 defense in the league. And the reaction to the Chiefs game on Monday night against the Broncos could not have been better for the Jags, in my opinion, because all of the hype in the world is on Mahomes right now. And you see this all the time in the NFL. that when these guys have these monster games, it's like they come crashing down, much like the Jaguars did against the Titans in week 3. All this hype about the Jags and what they did against the Patriots, and then they come out and just lay a complete egg against the Titans. And I just think I was rooting so hard for the Chiefs to win that game and come back exactly the way they did, because everyone is on the Chiefs bandwagon. They're going to come home. If the game was in Jacksonville, it might be even more so. The fact that it's at the Chiefs is a little more difficult, but just seems like this happens all the time in the NFL, where someone has a game and has had a few games in terms of Mahomes where they can do no wrong. They walk on water and then they just come back down to earth. I think this could be that game. I don't have any stats in front of me, but it seems to me like when you have a really good offense playing a really good defense, the defense wins. Would y'all agree on that? I mean, I'm just kind of...
Well, there's the classic saying that offense wins games and defense wins championships. And
is this a game or a championship?
This is a game, but it does tell a lot. I mean, I think it's a man-up game for the Jags. I think you're going to have the entire country talking about the Chiefs and everything with Mahomes. Nobody's going to be really saying much about the Jags. You're going to Arrowhead. They go out and they show out like they can in this game, and it's going to be a statement to the rest of the NFL.
Let me just put this out there for y'all to ponder on, okay? The Chiefs have played these 4 teams so far. I want you to think about their defenses, okay? Chargers. Meh. Steelers. Not
Terrible.
good at all.
Awful.
Terrible. 49ers.
Don't know enough about them, but yeah.
Not good.
And the Broncos.
Decent
Decent
at best.
They picked
Decent at best,
They picked
but they-
3rd in the draft last year.
But they almost lost.
But I'm
to them
saying, as
So,
far as their
pretty good
defense goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so defenses they've played, not really amazing. Nothing that really jumps out on the page to you. The Chiefs have averaged 36 points per game against those teams. The Jags have scored 31 twice. So if you think about that, the Jags, if they have a game like they've been having, an average game offensively, especially if we throw out the Titans game, and the Chiefs have a regression game because they're playing the hardest defense by a mile they've seen all year. Up until us, the hardest defense they've seen is the Broncos, and the Broncos literally have 2 edge rushers, and that's it. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. So the best defense the Chiefs are going to see is us. I don't think the Chiefs even have a chance in this game. And all those factors that James brought up, I love, because you're right. But with all that out, I don't think they have a chance, because they have not seen a defense like ours. They have not seen an interior pass rush like ours, and their guards are not good.
Yeah, I agree completely with Jason. The total yards for their team so far this year is 1,641. Their opponents is 1,807. Their defense is not good. Not good at all. And they're going up against the number 1 defense. We're going to shut their offense down, and if our offense can have a game like even halfway as good as the Patriots or last game, we're going to demolish them. It's not even going to be a...
Demolish
them.
You kind of say the same thing, right? It's not even going to be close?
I don't think the Chiefs have a chance.
Okay, chance.
I think it could be close due to weird things, penalties, but I don't think there's a chance of them winning.
I like it.
I've honestly flip-flopped on this game since the start of the season. I mean, it's the scariest game on the schedule to me. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders. I mean, they've got some absolute studs. Kelsey probably is the most lethal, I think, for us.
He did nothing last game.
He did nothing last game, and last time we played,
scored a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a little shovel pass, 1 yard into the end zone.
But
all counts the same in fantasy. I have them.
But I do agree. I mean, I think the interesting part to me is our offense matching up against their defense. I mean, I think that this is going to be, again, a show me game for them as well. Are you able to win the big game against a soft defense? And I mean, I think so far they've proven that they can.
Our goal is going to be keeping Mahone inside the pocket. If we can keep him inside the pocket, they don't have a chance against us. I mean, his whole bread and butter is being able to extend the play and move.
I hope that Todd Wash allows Ramsey to be physical with Tyreek Hill on the line of scrimmage. Jam him, get him off of his rhythm. And then Tyreek Hill is so fast, but given the time that Mahomes is going to have in the pocket, if they do contain him, I think Ramsey can keep up with him long enough. But they're going to have to play physical. I love the matchup of the Jags with Kelsey. I think he is a non-factor in this game as well, because the Jags match up well against pass-catching tight ends. We saw what they did against Gronk already, and I just think they play well against elite tight ends. So I like that matchup as well. You're right. They certainly have not seen a defense like the Jags, and Mahomes especially. He played one game last year against Denver as well, I believe, when Denver was long out of it. They were planning their summer vacation at that time. So this is going to be a huge step up in terms of who he's faced. There's a lot on the line in this game, a lot of pride. And the Jaguars, I think, are an entire team with, as Joey would say, a chip on their shoulder, and they want to prove something as well. I'm not saying the Chiefs don't, but it's going to be a fun game to watch for sure.
I think our defense especially, you talk about chip on your shoulder. I mean, like we said in the last podcast, they really haven't had that breakout game turnover-wise, interception-wise, fumble-wise, sack-wise, and you're going up against a quarterback that's lit up everybody he's played so far. So if you can't get up for this game as a defense and just wanting to prove yourself on national TV, everybody's watching, biggest game of the season so far, I think they do. And I think they make him look like a basically rookie quarterback.
Well, I think if we look at the Broncos game they just played, the first 3 quarters, Mahomes was 15 for 29 with a 66 passer rating. So there's been 2 games this year, and it should have been 3 if you count the Giants, but definitely 2 games where the Jags had the game wrapped up by the 4th quarter. So if the Chiefs let that happen to them, then Mahomes' ability to come back is going to be a non-factor because, like we've seen, we weren't worried at all in the games against the Patriots or against the Jets that they were going to come back.
Right.
Because by the 4th quarter, I mean, fans are leaving halfway through the 4th quarter of both of those games because it's wrapped up. And I think the Chiefs, I think the same thing's going to happen. You might see the Chiefs do what other teams do when the defense starts playing safe and soft coverage, and they may get some garbage time points, yards and points, but it doesn't concern me because if Mahomes is going to bank on a 4th quarter comeback, good luck against the Jags. That's not going to happen.
No, I agree with that 100%. So we're saying that the defense is going to play well against the Chiefs offense. What about our offense going up against their defense? What do you see happening there?
If we have a game like the Patriots or the Jets where Bortles is throwing for 300 plus yards, the game's over. We're going to outscore them.
If we have those games, we win the Super Bowl. I mean,
that's the key,
what do you
though.
see happening? What do y'all think? What are there good matchups? Do you think Bortles? What's going to happen with their defense?
I'm going to gamble and say this is the week that we actually see a little bit of consistency with the offense, and that we have a 2-game stretch of having big numbers and the offense clicking and doing really well.
I'm going to say the opposite. I'm going to say that we're going to continue this trend like we did last year, where we play well, play bad, play well, play bad. And I think we're going to play bad on offense this week, but I still think we're going to win, but it's going to be a close game, and it shouldn't be. And we're going to all be sitting here saying that should not have been a close game, but it was, and I think we're still going to come out on top.
I'm going to save mine for the bold predictions.
Okay. Mystery man.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think a lot of it hinges on Leonard Fournette, if he plays or not, which at this point in time, we don't know what his status is. If he plays, it changes the whole complexion of the game. He's such a difference maker. I think it'll open up the passing game. It'll take pressure off of Bortles. Even if they don't hand him the ball 25 times, just having him in there changes a lot. So I will say I really, really hope he plays in this game. Whether he does or not, we don't know yet. We haven't said if we think he's going to play. Do you guys think Fournette plays in this game?
No, I really don't. I mean, I hope that Marone's playing some chess, but I don't think we see Fournette until after the bye week.
Yeah, I don't either. I would like to. I mean,
yeah, it's a tough player to lose in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they play awful, the offense. I don't see Bortles having another record day. I would love it if he did, obviously. But, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, something like that I'd be fine with that. And I think that's enough. That's enough. But is it going to be something like we saw against the Jets? I can't say that I think that's going to happen.
I would be shocked if the Chiefs came out and let us do the same thing we did to the Jets. I can't see them letting us let Blake sit back in the pocket and hit these drag underneath routes, these crossing routes, these mesh concepts all game long. I think Andy Reid's too good of a coach for that. He's going to try to shut that down right off the bat, and we're going to have to probably beat them vertically, which will be good to see if Blake can do or not.
Yeah. Okay. So Joey, you kind of teased us with the bold predictions. I'm dying to know what you have to say. So let's move into our bold predictions for this game.
I'm ready. I'm going Bortles over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 to D.D. Westbrook, 1 to Corey Grant, because I definitely think Grant has an absolute way more dominant role in this in the passing game, and 1 to ASJ.
Well, you said in the previous episode that Bortles is a Hall of Famer, so that
I've been saying
continues the journey.
all year, and he's actually shown that. He's shown Pro Bowl games this year already.
If
Nobody
he hits
can
4
deny that.
hundo this week, he's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
And I'll sit here and call him a Pro Bowler for every episode.
Will you buy us all wings?
I'll buy you all wings.
All
I mean,
right.
he could do it, but
Dude,
if he,
all right.
that's a career high. So.
DD for 100. You got Grant and Yeldon for another 100 between the two of them.
You're
and then
halfway there.
Between everybody else, dude, easy.
Everybody else, there ain't much people else out there.
Jenkins for 60. You got a few to Cole. I mean, come on, man. It's
Tom
happening.
Coughlin gets 10, Marone
Jackson
20.
DeVille.
Pirate guy in section 403.
Right. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Moment of silence for Pirate
That's
Guy.
right. Well, that might be the boldest of bold predictions we've had so far this season.
Also, I've been up on
Respect.
Bortles always, but I have not had Bortles as really a bold prediction yet. I think this is it, man.
Okay. Is there any reason? Can we say why you think
For
that?
the same reason I didn't think Fournette was playing 2 games before last game. And just gut, man. I mean, I think it's time.
You can't
They have
cite that every time.
Why
You have to
not?
say something
It's
crazy.
been right so far.
Joey's got a great gut.
only our expert analysis.
I
Yeah.
do. I appreciate that, Robert. This takes hard work. No, I mean, I think it's because their defense is awful, and I think that he's really shown in 2 of the 4 games we've had that he's capable of it, and against a bad defense, and I think he's going to have to. I mean, I think their offense is going to put up some points on us. I think this is going to be a bit of a shootout, but I think he rises to the occasion against a much weeker defense than Mahomes has to deal with.
Okay. I like it.
I feel like Jason, because I'm gonna be like, that's too bold.
Thank you.
Because I thought I was gonna
Jump on the fence, Robert.
I thought mine
go
was-
with a slightly bold prediction.
I thought mine was gonna be bold. but
Sorry,
you-
that was a new
you went
segment
over it.
called moronic prediction. Now we're going to do bold predictions.
Well, I mean, you kind of took one of mine. I was gonna say he's gonna throw for 2 touchdowns and we're gonna have 1 rushing. I'm gonna say. So I mean, I think we have 3 touchdowns total, but I mean that's not super bold.
That's like the antithesis of Joey's.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he overshot me a whole lot.
I'm going to go a different direction here with you guys. I'm going to say that Brandon Linder doesn't play, and
ouch.
Tyler Shatley steps in and surprises everybody at his level of play.
Would that really be a surprise, though?
I mean, he did.
Nah,
last
but
week.
he
this
played
is like
really
your
well
almost
last week. That's not bold
this is
at
like your
all.
almost bold,
No,
not really
that's
bold.
bold. It's
prediction,
just
man.
boring.
Yeah.
To go offensive
I
line
think
with a bold
Shatley is
prediction.
a good player. I mean, that doesn't surprise me in the least if he stepped in and did that.
Well, I'm sorry. That's my bold prediction.
I love that you're sticking with it. Way to go. Good job.
I'm going to say that Mahomes comes down to earth in a big way. And I think we see, I may have already said this as a bold prediction, but I'm going to probably say it until it happens. But I think Ngakoue gets a strip sack. And I think the defense does score a touchdown in this game. I think we're going to see that breakthrough. They've been kind of knocking at the door with it. They did in the first game, but it's going to be more of a breakout where, things might come unglued a little bit for the Chiefs. And I think that the defense shows up and plays out. It just the whole thing to me, the whole national narrative about the Chiefs and Mahomes right now is just on a tee for it to collapse. I mean,
Yeah.
it just couldn't be any more ripe of a time for things to just fall. And I don't think it's going to happen throughout the course of the season, but for this week in this game, the NFL is a week-to-week league, and this could be that week where they just don't show up.
I understand it's news headlines for the most part and everything, but I get so sick of the narrative when we see a rookie quarterback come out and have a few good games that he is the greatest thing ever. We've seen this time and time again of rookie quarterbacks or second string quarterbacks ended up getting a shot, like have a few good games, and then they end up blowing it. I mean, it's or just going back to being second string or mediocre. I mean, I think Mahomes, he's looked really good. I am not putting him down whatsoever, but I think it is way too early to be talking about him the way everyone is.
So he's basically like Jimmy G.
It could very well
He
be.
could be.
Or Deshaun Watson or
Yeah.
any of them.
I mean, I think there's a lot working in our favor for this game. First of all, they've got somewhat of a short week, right? I mean, they had
by a
yesterday off.
day, yeah.
I mean, that makes a difference, right? I mean, it's got to factor in a little
Monday
bit.
night, that's something.
It does.
Something.
And also, like we've kind of alluded to, I mean, matchup wise, it's kind of like the Steelers last year. I mean, I didn't think we were going to beat the Steelers twice, especially in the playoffs, maybe. But Antonio Brown, I mean, Le'Veon Bell, I mean, you're looking at a high-powered offense with a not so good defense, and we tend to own that.
Not only not so good defense, I mean, other teams are putting up huge numbers against them, touchdown wise and everything. I mean,
they're dead last.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Are they really dead last?
Yeah,
defense?
they're awful.
I didn't realize they were that bad.
Yeah,
Wow.
so they are only their whole game plan is to outscore you.
Yeah.
Well, and if the Jags can get up on them early, that just plays to the Jaguars' advantage because then they're just going to be sitting on turnovers. That's why I thought against the Jets, man, a turnover's got to be coming soon because, then the team has to press, and that just, again, plays to our advantage. It didn't quite happen, but I think it'll happen this week.
Now, Jason, now that I'm thinking about it, man, Linder being out kind of scares the crap out of me. Is he really that hurt?
He only played like 12 snaps last game, so it can't make you feel too strong about coming into this week. But
Have they said what it is? This is knee, right?
I think it's the same knee injury.
But I mean, what is it? Is it just like swelling of the knee?
I think he got it hyperextended in like, what was it, the last preseason game or week 1 when they were on the goal line play, and I think someone rolled up on it and sprained it, and I think he's just trying to play through it, and he'll probably be injured all year.
Big dude to have a bum knee.
Marone said he's probably going to not practice Wednesdays the whole season. So,
Which, I mean, I get that.
Yeah, I do
really
too,
need it, but that does suck.
I'm okay though. I'm okay with Shatley, and Josh Wells played really well last game. I'm okay with these guys coming in. I'm not okay with Chris Reed, so I'm glad he's an inactive. But these guys are playing well. I mean, like I said, we graded out really high in pass blocking last week, so I expect that to just be even higher this week. Now we're not playing defensive linemen that are too concerning.
Exactly, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then you agree?
I don't agree.
3 touchdowns I can hop on board with. 400 yards is like
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
He put up 388.
All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're passing the entire game.
Shut me down.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, if it happens, I'll be right there with you. Pumped.
Oh man, I'll be so
and I'll buy
be
you
so
chicken
excited.
wings.
Ooh.
Any flavor you want.
All right, those are bold prediction. Well, that was a bold prediction,
And then kind of,
and then after that. So let's talk about score predictions now. Give us some numbers here, guys. What do you think the score prediction is going to be for this game? I'm going to start with Robert.
all right, I'm going to go 26-13.
By the way, before we go into that, the Chiefs are a 3-point favorite right now. Just throwing that out there.
You know what also drives me nuts? For the first 3 weeks, I believe, I picked for a safety to happen, and the 1 week I did not pick it.
It happened.
We had a safety.
Yeah.
We knew we were due.
I mean, if you think about 3 points on the road, that's a pick 'em.
I know it is a pick.
Yeah,
I
on a
was gonna say
neutral
the same
field,
thing,
and
yeah.
from a 4-0 team playing a 3-1 team, that's pretty telling.
That is. So Vegas is a little worried about this one as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we had 26-13.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not 26. I meant to say 27.
Okay.
I apologize.
say
My
26.
math was
That's
wrong.
kind of a
I did the
funky
math wrong in my
number.
head. 2 field goals.
All right, 27-13 for Robert. Jason, what do you have?
I wish you wouldn't have said the whole Vegas thing because I am going to say 31-28, which is exactly 3 points.
Right on the
Even
line.
though I guess it's not. It's the other way. So I'm gonna say Jags 31.
Yeah, it's the other way.
Chiefs 28.
You would make money on that.
Oh yeah, I will make money on that.
You will make money on that. All right, and Joey?
21-17.
21-17. All right.
Wow, that was a.
But Joey said 400 yards and they're only going to score 3 touchdowns?
Yep.
How is that even possible?
I was gonna.
Listen, throws to the sideline to the coaches don't count.
I was gonna go with my 10-7 again, just because I swore
We
I
are
was gonna
not
pick that
eating
for the rest of
wings
my
next
time.
week.
We'll see.
They turned the ball over in the red zone 5 times.
Yeah.
I didn't say how many interceptions he'd have.
So close.
Did I?
What about you, James?
I'm gonna go 28-17. Yeah. 28-17.
I think I got prices right.
I think you did a little bit. Jason's is close. Everyone else is, well, and Joey's is confusing, but it's a little closer. Robert and I are a little more comfortable. We'll see. I'm confident, but can you be nervous and confident at the same time?
Absolutely. I'm scared to death.
Then that's definitely what I am.
It's called Nonfident.
Nonfident?
Confident. That's great. Did you just make that up?
I did, yes.
That's fantastic.
Trademark. Okay, so let's talk about the AFC teams that are playing this week and discuss matchups and what we think is going to happen in those games. Let's start with the Thursday night game is the Colts at the Patriots. Thursday night game, Luck versus Brady. What do you guys think? Patriots coming off a monster win against Miami, 38-0 pounding. The Colts lost a close one, controversial one in terms of the call by the Colts head coach to go for it on 4th down and overtime. Lose to the Texans. So we have one team hard loss, another team big win. What do you think? Colts Patriots Thursday night in New England?
Well, it's the largest spread of all the games in Week 5 at 10-point favorite for the Patriots.
Don't see a lot of double-digit spreads in the NFL.
Yeah, so that's pretty big. Just for that reason alone, I think you'd be a fool not to say the Patriots were going to win.
I have to agree. I mean, I think Sony Michel's healthy. I think he showed that last week, and I think that's only going to build. When they drafted him, I was really upset because I didn't want Brady to have that weapon, and I think he's going to continue to use that because he really doesn't have a lot else out there. So yeah, I think they win too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how the Colts can pull it off.
I think Josh Gordon makes his presence felt in New England this week. I know he played last week, had 2 catches. I think he has a breakout game, and I think that's fine because we've already beat the Patriots, so they can beat up on our division rivals.
Yeah, and also luck, man. I mean, I know he's put up some good numbers, but the dude can't throw more than like 20 yards. I mean, it's obvious that his arm strength is like gone at this point. So, I mean, that's got to be a concern.
Patriots have won 7 in a row by 20 points per game. Yeah, Patriots.
7 in a row at home? Is that what you're saying?
Nope, 7 in a row in the series.
Oh, in the series.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I was like, because they didn't win against us a couple weeks ago.
Nope,
confused by
7 against the Colts in a row, and they have averaged points per game victory of 20 points.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So now going on, we have a Texas showdown. We have the Cowboys playing at the Texans Sunday night. So 2 of the teams in the AFC South are in primetime games. The Colts Thursday night, the Texans Sunday night. Texans playing host to the Cowboys. I'll start this one off, and I think the Texans actually win this game. I don't like saying that, but I think they do.
I honestly have no idea. I mean, Houston's kind of like an anomaly out there. I mean, and Dallas, I just haven't watched enough. I mean, they've got some good players, but I'm going to watch this because we play them coming up. So I really want to see what Dallas does to Texans. So I'm going to go with Dallas though because I hate Texans.
I'm going to stick with I don't think the Texans are trash. I think they're trash, and they're going to lose again.
I don't see the Texans being able to stop Ezekiel Elliott. So
I think the Cowboys are Jekyll and Hyde. They're great one week, and the next could fall flat. They just had a huge, very emotional win against the Lions. I think they just, I don't know. They could go either way. This is not, again, I don't bet, but I would never put money on this game. But for some reason, I could just see Dallas choking for some reason because they just seem to be that type of team. This could be one that the Texans steal. So I'll stay with the Texans. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for the Cowboys, but we'll see what happens. And then lastly, we have Tennessee playing the Buffalo, and I believe this one is in Buffalo. Yes, it is.
before we get to that, we have a Twitter question involving the Titans.
Oh,
I think
okay.
This would be a good time to bring it
go
up.
for it.
This is from Patrick Jackson at Radius Johansson. And he says, have we all underestimated the Titans? Maybe week 3 wasn't quite as terrible as it seemed on Monday last week. Still pretty terrible, but looks somewhat less awful after their win.
I agree. I think we have underrated them. I mean, I picked them second in the division preseason. James kind of talked me into them being garbage, but I don't think they are. I think their defense is well above average, and I think Mariota is a gamer. I mean, he's got a bum arm, but he's still putting up over 300 yards. I mean, he's got back-to-back wins against really good teams. I don't see how you can think that they're garbage at this point.
I'm going to say yes and no. I think their defense is a lot more solid than a lot of people gave them credit for this year. But I think our game against them, I thought our offense just was absolutely terrible. And I don't think that was a good example of what we should have been doing against them. So when it comes to how I feel about that game, I am just as mad as I was regardless of how Tennessee has played at this point, because our offense is terrible.
Yeah, agree 110%. I picked the Titans to finish last in our division at the beginning of the season. That, could be wrong, especially with Houston being 1-3, playing Dallas this week, and Tennessee being 3-1, playing Buffalo this week. The matchup definitely favors Tennessee. So I think that, they're probably better than I'm giving them credit for sure. And I think they win this week. I will say I think they beat Buffalo. I don't see how a rookie quarterback can beat Tennessee. I just don't see that happening. Hope it does. But I still am not afraid of them in terms of them being a competition for the Jags winning the division. And we talked about that a lot in our last episode, so I'll leave it at that. But to answer the question, I probably underestimated them a little bit, but I'm still not going to give him credit ever. Win the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to give him credit.
Respect. You got to stick to your
Yeah.
I
guns.
love it. I mean, Buffalo did just like stomp Minnesota, who has
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
and then they
ago.
came
Yeah.
out and played terrible last week.
They laid a goose egg.
Who did they play?
This week?
Yes, this past Sunday. It was they played awful.
It was Green
Whoever-
Bay.
Green
Was
Bay,
it?
yes.
Yeah, Green
Green
Bay.
Bay shut them out. I
Yeah, they
believe.
laid a goose egg.
34-0.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see them bouncing back and beating Tennessee. So I got to call Tennessee to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Tennessee was like this. They are what they are. Ground and pound, gritty, play good defense.
well coached, it seems like, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they do what they have to do to win the games. They did it against us last year. They did it against, I mean, like we talked about last podcast, the Browns took them to overtime. The Colts consistently took them down to the wire, but they just find ways at the end of the game to win them. And that's just what they are. And it sucks that a team like that's in our division, but it is what they are what they are. And you kind of have to bring your A game to beat them, even though it seems like you don't.
I'm looking at their schedule really quick just to see.
Their next 3 games were easy.
Well, yeah, they're playing the Ravens. The Ravens are playing good.
Yeah.
They're playing good. They won on the road at Pittsburgh. That's not easy to do. Then they play the Chargers. That's in London, I think. It says 9:30 a.m. So either that or it's, yeah, that wouldn't that be
gotta be.
London?
Or Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know when they play.
Yeah. And then they play the Cowboys, which we have to play. I don't know. The Patriots. That'll be interesting playing them later in the year when the Patriots usually start figuring things out later in the year. So, yeah, I mean, their schedule is pretty favorable. Something to keep an eye out on, but I just don't know. Yeah, their schedule is really favorable. So,
Yeah, I remember looking at it and thinking that they're going to need to drop some games in the next couple of weeks if we want to have a chance to get advantage of them early.
Yeah, that win over the Eagles for them was huge.
Mhm.
Now that I'm looking at things, the Ravens game is going to be big. We need Baltimore to win that game for sure. You know, going out to the West Coast is never easy. Maybe or London, I guess. I don't know. For the Chargers game, they're playing a primetime game against the Cowboys. That looks to be a Monday night game.
Then they have another.
Then
Monday
they
night game.
play home. They host the Patriots. So that's going to be a big one. After that, it's Texans, Jets, Jags. That's going to be a huge game.
Is it too late for us to get flexed?
like week, I think 16 and 17 can.
Yeah, the first flex
Okay.
game is the Dolphins, I
Okay.
believe, for the Jags, which is pretty late in the season. It's week 16, I think. So yeah, they are a team to keep an eye on now that I look at their schedule. But we'll see what happens. All right. So are we all saying that the Titans win that game?
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo has had 2 games now under 10 points. Their first game, they only laid 3 points, and this last one, they had 0. I don't see how. I mean, they're going to win this game. I mean,
Right.
it's going to be Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, again, I hate to pick the Titans to do good at anything, but I have to agree. Definitely Titans.
All right. So we'll see what happens. All we're really going to be concerned with, though, is the Chiefs and the Jaguars. 1 o'clock on Sunday in Kansas City. CBS is bringing the big guns. Jim Nance, Tony Romo on the call. No Jeff Fisher.
Even though some people love him somehow.
I only know of one person that did. Everyone else was
Hey, he's got a
absolutely
fantastic
railing him on
mustache,
Twitter.
man.
It was like he was calling the game in like a Hawaiian flower shirt, drinking a drink out of a coconut glass, with his feet up. Like he just was chilling the entire game. And they were missing stuff left and right. It was crazy. But, to be fair, Fisher has a history with the Jags. He called it down the middle. He wasn't like Steve Berline. When you hear him call a Jags game, you can tell he hates the Jaguars. He's still
Absolutely.
bitter. So I give him credit for that. Whatever. For those that care about that kind of stuff.
I have to say, I'm really excited about the KC game. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch either way.
For sure.
It's going to be really, really cool.
I'm excited to hear Romo. Romo always calls games we play at home, so I never get to hear him. So finally he's calling an away game, and it's like, I haven't got to hear Romo live, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend for me too because the baseball playoffs start. Braves play Thursday night, Friday night. It's an exciting weekend for me.
Is it going to be a good or bad, though?
Probably bad. They
think
haven't
so?
advanced in the playoffs since 2000.
They play the Dodgers, right?
Play the Dodgers, so I'm gonna have to drink a cup of coffee around 3:00 in
Hey,
the
the
afternoon.
fact I knew that, you guys should all be very impressed.
I'm impressed.
Is Blake Snell going to win the AL Cy Young?
Could
He's
I don't
he's
know
the
that-
Vegas favorites right now, 3-2.
I don't know enough about the American League, but it's possible. I mean, He has the same argument that DeGrom, who will win the NL Cy Young. He's just on a terrible team, but great pitcher.
Except Snell has 20 wins.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Well, then he should win.
Yeah. He's the biggest favorite right now.
Okay. And DeGrom should win in the National League. So we'll see.
But a Rays pitcher is going to win the Cy Young. I just want in the AL. I just want everyone to
throw that out
to
there.
realize that. Yeah.
They won 90. They had 90 wins this year.
That's unbelievable.
And they didn't make the playoffs.
So what happens when you have 200 win teams in your division?
All right. So that's enough of that. We hope to be back next week celebrating the Jags being 4-1. Time will tell. We're all confident. We hope you are too. That's going to wrap it up for episode 35. Remember, you can find us on Twitter at Another Jags Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Another Jags Podcast. Let us know your thoughts. Give us some questions. We'll give you our answers. That wraps it up. As always, go Jags.